You are listening to episode 177 of the Autism Mom Coach, Clocking the T. Welcome to the Autism Mom Coach podcast. I am your host, Lisa Candera. I am a lawyer, a life coach, and most importantly, I am the full-time single mother of a teenager with autism. In this podcast, I am going to share with you the tools and strategies you need so you can fight like hell for your child without burning out. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I am so glad you are here. This week's episode is going to be a takeoff on the slang term clocking the T. Now, if you have no idea what this means, don't worry, I will fill you in. T is a slang term for gossip, information. Most of us have heard the phrase spilling the tea, right? Spilling the tea is when you are sharing the tea. Clocking the tea is when you are noticing it or registering it. I came across this phrase this summer overhearing two teenagers talk to one another about social media, and one had noticed that a common friend had stopped posting pictures of her and her then boyfriend on social media, and she remarked that she had clocked that T. Whenever I hear T, she was saying T-E-A, I think of T as in thoughts, because when I'm coaching my clients, we're always talking about their thoughts or their T's. So anyway, I decided I was going to do a podcast episode on it because in reality, T, T-E-A, and T as in thoughts, they're basically the same thing. Our thoughts, our interpretation of what is happening in our lives, that's just the tea that we're serving ourselves up. They are not necessarily the truth. In fact, most of the time it's not. It is our interpretation of what is happening. These interpretations usually aren't neutral. Most of our thoughts are automatic, they are negative, and they are reinforcing beliefs that we already have. And this is one of the reasons that we hardly even notice the impact that they are having on our ability to respond versus react. This is especially important for us as autism moms because we tend to operate from a place of chronic stress. What this means is when we are already dysregulated, our automatic thoughts are going to be negative. They are going to be extreme, always, never. Very black and white, no gray. This is why it is important to start clocking the T. This is how you interrupt a cycle. You notice the thoughts that you're having, and instead of indulging in them, instead of believing them, you are pausing, you are interrupting a cycle. And the more you do that, the better able you are to respond in a way that you want. Then the more you do that, the more control you take over your life, your experience. So let me give you some examples. You get a phone call from your child's school, and what does your brain do? It starts feeding you thoughts, and those thoughts usually aren't, yay, I can't wait to see what they have to say. It's more, oh no, what happened? What did he do? Am I going to have to come pick her up? This is happening already. I can't deal with this. Those are the thoughts that you're feeding yourself. So by the time you actually answer that phone and say hello, your heart is beating out of your chest and you just want the person on the other end to spit it out. Or let's say you're trying to get your child out the door in the morning and they are taking their sweet time. You try to stay patient, you try to stay calm, but at some point you just have had it and you end up yelling at them to get their butt in the car. And what do? You spend the rest of the morning beating yourself up, feeling aggravated at them for not listening to you, shaming yourself for losing your temper, telling yourself it's going to be your fault if they have a bad day. That's the tea that you are feeding yourself in these moments. Or maybe you're bracing yourself for your child's upcoming IEP meeting. You just got the letter in the mail with the date and already you're telling yourself, this is going to be another disaster. They never listen to us. We never get what we need. That is the T, okay? None of this means that any of these situations are fantastic and you should be thinking happy thoughts about them. The point is noticing the thoughts that you are actually thinking and the feelings that's creating. The point is to notice the thoughts that you are thinking and what that is creating for you. Is it creating stress, anxiety, fear, guilt? All of those emotions are the types of emotions that keep you in that fight-flight state. And when you're in fight-flight, your rational thinking is not online and you are in reaction-only mode. And most of the time, that does not serve us. We end up overreacting. We end up catastrophizing. We end up spinning in doubt and fear for days and weeks. That's why it's important. Start to clock the T. Start to notice the thoughts that you are thinking and what that's creating for you. And that's all you need to do at first, is just noticing them, just putting distance between you and the thoughts that you are thinking. That is how you interrupt cycles, and it's how you take back your power to respond versus react to life happening. So instead of feeling like life is happening to you, you take back your ability to respond to what's happening versus the tea that you are serving up. All right, everyone, I hope that this episode was helpful to you. Start clocking that tea, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to the Autism Mom Coach. If you are ready to apply the principles you are learning in these episodes to your life, it is time to schedule a consultation call with me. Podcasts are great, but the ahas are fleeting. Real change comes from application and implementation, and this is exactly what we do in my one-on-one coaching program. To schedule your consultation, go to my website, theautismmomcoach.com, work with me, and take the first step to taking better care of yourself so that you can show up as the parent you want to be for your child with autism.